So I'm doing my daily walk, right? Went a different direction, and guess what I see? A mobile home. Mobile home. Right in the middle of the city. No mobile home park. Nothing. Now, for a long time here where I am, mobile homes have been illegal without a mobile home park. I've been looking for an opportunity like that. So maybe they've changed the laws. There's a lot of empty lots in this city where it'd be a much better situation if we actually put mobile homes on them instead of regular homes. But while we're on the topic, I'm headed back to the office. I'm gonna change clothes, and then we're gonna get into this mobile home investment business. Got some tips to give you and some insights, and we have some experts, in the membership. So, talk to you inside.
Okay, real quick, I want to go over some things about the mobile home investment business. Some of our student members have been asking questions we've been talking about in the forums, and what I want to do is get a base understanding, answer some general questions, give some general tips, so that when we do get really in depth, we're all starting at generally the same area. So first thing is, which everybody's asking, why is it such a big deal? Why is it such a good time to get into the mobile home business? So one is the market, or just the housing economy in general. Prices of housing is going up. Most people's income are not keeping up. Homelessness is at all-time high, and there's a lot of people making $40,000, $50,000. You still have to get very creative on where they live because the housing costs. You can still get mobile homes under $5,000, $4,000, $3,000. And on the upper end, mobile homes are going for higher than a lot of houses, $50,000, $60,000 for mobile homes. So look at the top end and the bottom end and do some comparisons. But with that gap, you can definitely see an area of opportunity. I don't want mobile homes to fool you into thinking that they're truly mobile, because there's an expense to move them, and oftentimes the expense outweighs the investment. You don't want to be moving a $3,000 home for $10,000. Right? And so they're generally not as mobile as you think. They're called mobile homes because they're more mobile than traditional homes. Understand it, it's going to be most likely staying where it's at. So you want to make sure that is in your plans and find a way to make profit of where it's located. There are exceptions, but I want you to keep that in mind. Don't let the mobile home thing fool you. They're not on wheels, it's not RVs, okay? And then next thing is the bad stigma on trailer parks. It's been the butt of a joke for the last 20 years, trailer park trash and mobile homes and things of that nature. But again, social norms are changing, the economy's changing, people are starting to like smaller homes, tiny homes. I don't want the stigma of the last 20 years to keep you from moving into one, to keep you from doing a live-in flip on one, to keep you from being able to sell one and finding the value and the highlights of these type of properties. Number 4 is that it's separate from the land. So also keep that in mind. Oftentimes when you buy these, you don't own the land under it like traditional houses. You're gonna be paying monthly for your lot on a mobile home park, most likely. Again, and we'll talk about the location again, but outside of the city is a little different. But inside the city, they have regulations. And if you're deciding not to move it, so you're stuck with the person that you're with that's owning it up under it, you want to make sure you have a reasonable cost, fees there, and that it's a long-term agreement there. And you also want to understand that there's still taxes. It's not land taxes, but there's taxes on your property, right? There's park fees that run a couple $100s. If you do purchase the land separately, there's going to be tax on that, right? A lot of times if you're outside the city, you can purchase the land up under it. And it goes without saying, for most real estate, this is no different. You're going to have not only your park rules, because again, you don't own the land. So it's almost an HOA. You have to have your upkeep to a certain level. Building codes and local housing codes have sections for mobile homes so that everything is built to code, even if you have to outsource to a contractor, just like a traditional house. It's going to be a lot cheaper, but someone who knows the code will make it a lot easier for you. There also, like I said in the intro, there are designated locations in a lot of cities for mobile homes. They want you connected to their utilities and their water and things of that nature. And if you don't have that traditional foundation and been able to contribute to your local community by hiring them to do stuff for you, that's how the city looks at it, then they want you in a designated spot so that the person who owns that land will be doing that as well. So if you find areas where it's not required, you can actually buy land or get some cheap property, maybe an abandoned lot, things of that nature. It's a very creative way to put a mobile home there and again, sell it, seller finance, or even rent it out. Okay, so location is key. There's benefits on both ends. You can have it closer to the city. It's going to be more expensive. You're more likely going to have to pay a lot fee or something like that, but it's also easier to rent out. It's easier to resell, things of that nature. Okay, outside of the city, there's benefits there. You can purchase the land up under it. You don't have to pay this lot fee. That'll save you a couple $100s a month. It may be a little harder to sell or rent out, but you can also short-term lease it. You can Airbnb it out. If you make it, you can do it up real nice for pretty cheap and make it an experience. So you want to consider that, at least in between rentals or before your sale. Fix up. Just like any type of real estate, you want to include your fix-up cost. It's going to be a lot less, but you're going to be paying attention to the roof and the foundation, not as much as the doors and the windows as traditional houses. You're going to have a lot less of them. Those are not the major expenses. The major expenses is going to be the roof. It's going to be the subfloor or the foundation. And a lot of these mobile homes are susceptible to water and mold. So that's another thing you're going to keep track of, you're going to keep an eye on when you're inspecting the buildings. Market research, pretty much like traditional real estate research. You're going to get online, there's websites like mhvillage.com and some others that give you more details on the different mobile homes and the mobile home parks. But you can drive for dollars, you can go to Google, Facebook Marketplace I found is a real good one. And not only just to buy, if you're not ready to buy now, that's fine. But you need to do the research. You need to see the sales prices and at what conditions and at what locations, right? You want to see how long they've been on the market. So you want to get an idea of what the cost is and what you could do. See what the cost to move them. Like I was speaking earlier, see what the cost is to move them in your area. Jot this down on a piece of paper, act like you're going to actually purchase something and make a budget for it and see if the numbers come out. The startup costs on top of purchasing the home, you're going to have the land or the park rental. You're going to have the purchase of the land or the park fees, right? You're going to have whatever the fix-up cost is. And then you're going to have your taxes, your insurance, and repairs, just like traditional real estate, except in this is going to be a little bit of a lower numbers, which is a benefit to you. But I wanted to get a good base for everybody. That way when we start moving on, we can have a good foundation of understanding on things, all right? So we'll bring in the experts a little bit later, and I'll talk to you then.